the question that I'm asking you.
Okay.
I get what can be gained from a party from getting a vote. I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying if the Libertarian Party ran somebody who's not a libertarian, okay, if they ran, I'm just just a hypothetical. If they ran somebody who was
like
just
Bob
like
Barr.
Yes, or worse than Bob Barr.
Worse
there
than
is
Bob
worse
Barr.
than Bob Barr out there.
Dick Cheney is worse than Bob Barr.
If Dick Cheney,
let's say Dick Cheney
was
got
running,
the nomination,
should I vote
somehow.
Should I vote for Dick Cheney on the Libertarian Party? Do I have an
Yes.
obligation to vote for Dick Cheney?
I would say so.
Yes.
As a party member, because what you do is you salvage that election, right? Like, I'm not saying you should work for Dick Cheney. I'm not saying you should give him any money. I'm not saying
But I should vote for Dick Cheney.
You should vote for the Libertarian candidate,
no matter who they are,
because it has a knock-on effect on the next election.
Adolf Hitler runs as the Libertarian candidate. I should vote for Adolf
Hillary
Hitler.
Clinton. I mean, if we really want to get scary.
Yeah, right. No, but I mean, I'm
or
being
Donald
serious
Trump.
Here. But
like,
you're actually telling me if Adolf Hitler ran as the Libertarian Party candidate, I should vote for Adolf Hitler just because the party says Libertarian.
I'm telling you that if you vote for Adolf Hitler as the Libertarian Party candidate,
things are going to start happening to me now.
I think Tyler is amazing.
And I'm a fan of this show. I've watched several episodes.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. You stink, Tyler.
Never promise crazy a baby.
Oh, I like that. That's a cool idea.
Are either of you homosexuals?
I go both ways. What do you think?
You mean like flaming or?
No, we're not homosexual, but we are willing to learn.
But I do wonder, for others, in other cases, whether libertarianism today is just an excuse for many on the right to act selfishly.
Look at me. And then some fat asses in Washington started having opinions. The Olympic Committee started having opinions. You bitch, I know you! You started writing your opinions.
And it just makes me wonder, you're dead, bitch. You know, why are you doing this to this poor guy?
I don't care. I'm a libertarian. What I'm getting is,
Did you vote for Joe Jorgensen or Trump?
Who?
Joe Jorgensen. That was the perfect answer. Thank you.
Hello, how you doing, everybody? Tyler Yonke, LPR, coming to you Friday. I hope everything's going out good. We've got a few people. Elisa said she's gonna check back in here with us. I think I've even got a chat scene. Let's try this here. And there we go. Oh yeah, she's gonna check in, circle back. Yeah, where everyone's here. Okay, let's go from a different view here. Here's what's happening. So I got a little chaos going on in my life right now, which means I'm going to do the stream today. Kind of crimp it out. There's a fucking cat in this house. We have dogs. We have chickens. I think our lizard just died. That's not a euphemism either. And then I've got my wife decided to get a cat, and this thing loves to play around in here when I'm doing work. So the point is that I'm going to do this Nick's shit today, and then tomorrow evening I'm going to do and that's why I played the clips here with Nick Sarwak and Dave talking about Hitler. I think that's apropos, and I've got a little breakdown. Piers Morgan had an interview, and he played clips of Daryl Cooper, and I went about this, and it's kind of relays goes perfectly with what we're doing here with the Nick stuff, which is 2 videos we're going to talk about up here. I took one video, the Daryl Cooper on Tucker video, and then I overlaid it with the video on him and Piers and the cuts, and we're gonna see if those edits are material or not, if they make a difference. But right now we're gonna talk about Nick Rekieta. We're gonna go to, if you don't know Nick, well, actually, there's Ana Kasparian. I don't know if everyone knows who she is. Let's see here. This is that one. I did not set this up just right. We may have to add in. Let's add this in here while we're doing it. Okay, so we're adding in a browser. And what I'm going to do is we're going to, there's, not that one. Oh, this is really going to bother me now. I may not be able to play her clip. I was going to cut her clip. She went on with Sitch and someone else, and just bear with me, people. I try to do stuff here magically, make it all happen, but it doesn't always do that. So here we go. We'll do a video capture. screen capture. There you go. We're going to capture this screen in here, and we're going to, oh, this is not what you want here, people. Hang on. Just hang on a minute. There we go. Okay. So we're going to enlarge this here and biggen it, as they say. Theater mode. And then we're going to play this here. This is from and I got, let me know if you can hear this. I'm going to play it up here a little bit. Ana Kasparian went on this other show, and she talks about how she's all into Nick. And I know people have played this, but we're going to just talk about
Ana Kasparian. Forgive me, but you might find it funny.
Totally.
By the way, I have to say something before I forget. You guys really did me dirty with something.
Oh.
And, yeah. So you guys did a stream, I don't know, months and months ago about some law tuber named Nick Rekieta. And I thought it was like such a juicy story that I started like reading about it myself and watching some videos about it. And now I'm like, it's like my guilty pleasure drama. I've been following very closely. And I like know who Aaron Imholt is from Steel Toe Morning Show. Who, by the way, like
he was just indicted, for revenge porn.
He did revenge porn on his stream, and he like ended up getting indicted for it. That story is like the gift that keeps on giving. It is
How
amazing.
did he do revenge porn on his stream? What are you talking? How do you do that?
Okay, so this is what happened. Finally, we talk about the issues that matter.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
So Nick Rekieta is this like law tuber who became more and more prominent as he was covering high profile cases like the Amber Heard Johnny Depp one. I think the Kyle Rittenhouse one as well. I didn't know about him until you guys covered that whole thing that happened recently. But so he and his wife end up swinging with Aaron Imholt and his wife. Aaron Imholt is the host of that Steel Toe Morning Show thing in Minnesota. So they all live in Minnesota. They start swinging. What appears to have happened is they seem to have like kicked Aaron Imholt out of the polycule or whatever.
Oh my God.
But they were sharing messages with each other on Signal, and I guess Nick Rekieta's wife had shared some racy images of herself in that Signal chat. Aaron Imholt saved it, and then after,
he showed those on stream.
He didn't show them, but he sent one of the photos to another person that was on his stream, and like they were talking about the image, and he said something along the lines of,
I was muted. Okay, what I said is I'm blocked by these people. Sometimes it happens. They say stupid stuff on. Thanks, JC, by the way. They say stupid things online, and I react, and there you go. Okay, I'm back. Unmute. People, we're still working kinks out here. This is what I said. If you're coming into the chat here, I'm going to do Nick Rekieta stuff, and then I'm going to do another stream tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow. 5, 6 maybe in the evening Pacific. That'll be 8, 9 Eastern. You do the math, the other time zones. And we're going to do a breakdown of Piers Morgan, Daryl Cooper, Charlie Kirk also made some comments. I think it's interesting how they but man, and the only reason I was going to do it all tonight, but my wife decided to drive down and see our daughter in San Diego with a friend. So I'm trying to help out and get things going here. This is just the way it is. So if you don't care about my personal life, sorry about that. So I have to help. That's my point there. But I'm going to come back strong tomorrow, and we're going to do more of this. And it lays in so nicely with the gaslighting that goes on. But anyway, we'll keep going.
Your boy didn't do too bad, did he? Or something like that. And by the way, this entire time he's been like really running his mouth about the Rekietas and about his now ex-wife. And so I was like, man, you are playing with fire because you have done some stuff on your stream that I'm sure they can use against you. And guess what? They did. And so he ended up getting it. I mean, it's
just like with Nick, they're using that stuff against him too.
They don't know how to stop. It's amazing. Like it's the train wreck that you can't look away from. I even started reading Kiwi Farms about it. Like, oh
my God, you've gone down a dark path. Like,
I know.
Tell me in the chat, do any of you go to Kiwi Farms? I only go there when someone's like, "Hey, new document came out this week." I'm like, "Sweet." So I go there and I try to navigate. I'm not good with it.
It's so funny because like after we covered it, kind of the original drama, I haven't like really bothered to keep up on any of these updates.
What, Sitch? How dare you?
It's funny that you become like so engrossed in this.
Everyone needs a distraction. It's like the perfect distraction after like a long day of, producing and hosting TYT. I get to come home and it's like, oh, what's the latest?
It's juicy drama. Yeah, I see Nate Lord talking about it all the time. I'll have to catch up on it. Okay, that's hilarious.
We'll see if Rekieta gets out of it. So I'm not sure.
Yeah,
we've had Rekieta on the show before. Sitch argued with Rekieta over the elector stuff, right? The Trump elector stuff.
The electors and the Rumble Fuentes stuff.
So I showed this for the obvious reason that if Ana Kasparian is so willing to admit this freely, then that bodes well for the site in general. I had a theory, and I think I even said this. I don't know if anyone wants to go through the archive and find something that find me saying this. But
is there a display page just way too much stuff? I mean, it's just like there's chat, then there's additional chat, and then there's them, and then she's there. And by the way, looking good.
I think I even said, like, if we can survive Drop Kiwi Farms, that would be the end of the dark time. Because once that happens, if we manage to get past that, then it's kind of like, well, the forum becomes a fixture of the internet. It's no longer like this dark evil website that nobody can talk about. It's like innate. It's a quality that exists online. It's like water. You can't how can you possibly complain about water existing? You know what I mean?
Okay, this one wasn't the best one we have here, partly because let's move this over. Sorry. Still learning this stuff here. All right, let's see if I get rid of this. Hang on. Okay, so let's go to the chat. Some chat scenes here. Okay, here we go. LPR stands for R stands for and LPR stands for Rekieta. I've known about the farms for almost a decade. Never been there. Okay, you're muted. Yeah, I get it. Okay. So this one, I am going to go back here, and you're just gonna have to deal with this for a second while I figure this out. Because what I needed to do is, this is when you have not everything is created as you wish. Okay, cam solo. There we go. Okay, let's work on this one here. So I'm going to do a different one. This was me, because this is really the question we're asking. This is really the question I want everyone to inquire about. I sent this over on legal. Wow, this is rough, Tyler. I put this over on. I did a thing for a legal mindset here, and I asked this question. So let's see if let's play this here.
Drama besides Anna, via you, Sean, Nate. There's a lot of people that are watching and they call me and text me, but they don't want to talk about it. And they're like, Andrew, you're the one I'm watching on this. And they're like, this is fucked. Big name creators. They all know. And some of them, look, they don't want to like come out there and just dunk on Nick. It's not their type of content or whatever else. And, it's not their realm, the legal sphere, whatever else. And I cover it from a legal standpoint, but they're like, this shit is fucked. And a lot of them will tell me behind the scenes, they're like, we knew. We're like, he was just drunk and uncontrollable. When Sitch and Adam, I call him Stitch, whatever. When they were interviewing him, I think he was pretty fucking drunk when he was on that stream. And people get turned off to that. A lot of people get turned off to, people being ragingly drunk on a stream. If it's not forewarned or if it's not like some sort of celebratory stream, right? It tends to be pretty off-putting if your first interaction is with somebody who's fucking 10 sheets to the wind. So yeah, big name creators are watching. Just know that. And that's particularly why.
Okay. Well, there you go. So big name creators are watching. That's what I was saying. So the question is Anna in the chat right now? Which one of you is actually Anna? Now, she made some comments about Sean, potentially criminal. And my question is, she said, no, I don't subscribe to any of these, but I'm questioning. Everyone say hi to Anna. Hi, Anna. I think that's what we're going to have to go on this one. All right, so let's get right to it. This was Nick had, remember, last we left off with the drama was Nick. Nick was filed a motion to motion to dismiss. Then the state responded. We talked about that, right? We talked about the state responding. And then with that, the state, I thought they laid it out quite well. And then Nick decides to respond to their motion. And we have this right in here. Now, that's what I think we should do instead, though. Let's see, can we do that? Oh, there we go. Let's do this. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to read the arrest. This is considered the application for the search warrant. Okay. Let's go and read that, not in its entirety, just a bit about the case background here. And we've talked about this before. And let me just double click there. Okay. So let's talk about here. This is from the officer Pomplin. I think this is one he talks about. Let's double check here. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to read this from here. Now, Andy doesn't like it when we read, but we're going to read. Okay. On May 16th, 2024, Kandiyohi County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Dave Nestor received a report regarding possible child neglect and controlled substance abuse. I believe that's the same date as the CPS report came back. They evaluated it out, saying we couldn't really make any determination here. That's fine, but they had to report over. They're cross-reporting, and they did it to the police, and the police is like, okay, we got a report of possible child neglect and controlled substance use. A social worker had done an investigation, and the social worker had determined they couldn't really determine much at all. Okay, there you go. That's the standard there that Nick says should be taken care of. The reporter indicated that Nicholas Rekieta, resides at whatever. I didn't redact this, so I hope it's fine. I don't think this part mentions kids. Gives the address. He resides with his wife, Kayla Rekieta, born in 1984, 5 children, 6 to 16. The reporter indicated that 4 people from their church had gone to him reporting neglect to the children, possible controlled substance use, and a questionable relationship with an adult couple. Okay. Just got it here, started from 0. Okay, that's fine, Dwayne. Catch up to us. It was reported that Nicholas is a social media blogger. Well, is he really a blogger? He and his wife, Kayla, had befriended hosts from a different local social media blogger. Those individuals were identified as Aaron Imulte and April Imulte, born in 86 and 94. Oh, little robber you. Your affiant knows personally, these are personalities of the Steel Toe Morning Show, which was used to be in St. Cloud, Minnesota radio. However, in recent years, the show has been a social media entertainers show, strictly online based. It was reported that the Imoltes may have been staying with the Rekietas at the home, and the home was in disarray and cluttered. It was reported from a church preschool teacher that the children had complained of being hungry. I'm reading this. Remember, this is way back. This is one of the first documents we got. I'm going back to it because I think it's important to read some of this stuff about how he gets here. I'm going to skip his qualifications as a drug person just because who cares, okay? Because that's what it is. Okay. Nicholas was reported to be lethargic, appeared high or drugged, driving around a car. Another individual advised the reported that Nicholas will walk out randomly during church services and notice behavioral changes and all this stuff. The totality of the circumstances stuff here. All this involved. It was alleged Kayla looks anorexic. Nicholas also lost a substantial amount of weight recently. One individual described Nicholas of having injection or track marks on his arm. The reporter reiterated concerns for possible neglect and or controlled substance use within the home. Your affiant started to review Rekieta's and Imolte's social media blogs, and this is where shit goes wrong. The blogs are commonly related to legal issues and high-profile trials as Nicholas is a licensed attorney, non-practicing licensed attorney. Nicholas is known to drink alcoholic beverages excessively on these video blogs. We just played a clip from Sitch and whatever his name, and talking about how he was hammered on the stream. We then played a clip of Legal Mindset reacting to, and poorly broadcast on my video screen here, but reacting to a $10 super chat that I sent him saying, yeah, Nick got hammered on that. We all know that. We all know that about Nick, and he's doing this on screen and complaining about the local government, and then wondering when he's doing illegal things and admitting to it online why they're coming after him. Just throwing that out there. Trump, right? Trump complains about the deep state, gonna do everything. Schumer says we're gonna get you 6 ways to Sunday, and then Trump does some things that you just kind of like shake your head about, and then next thing you know, lawfare is in play. Okay. I'm just throwing out the reality of the situation, right? You push up against the bully, the government, and the bully is going to push back against you quite nicely. The blogs are commonly related to legally. Okay, we talked about that. I immediately noted that Nicholas's appearance in recent months has changed. In videos from January 2024 compared to May of 2024, Nicholas appears to have lost weight, appears tired, and overall appears strung out, common with controlled substance use. But by the way, you didn't need to know that. If I showed you those videos, I noticed that as well. I remember one time him on screen watching one of the last videos I had seen, and he's talking about losing weight, and he's just like, this is what happens, and you're getting your shit together. And he wasn't. He was, but I'm like, yeah, okay. I've lost weight. I need to do it again. I need to get strung out. Nicholas has been the victim of swatting phone calls and known to your affiant in the Candiota County Sheriff's Office because of these calls. When the Candiota County Sheriff's Office responded to these calls, they were at blah, blah, blah. He gives the address there. We don't need to say it. When reviewing Imolte's social media blogs, Aaron recently indicated that he and April are getting a divorce. Aaron goes on to say that he has experimented with coke 3 times, Molly 6 or 7 in the past. On 12/19, in one of Imolte's broadcasts from a Rekieta studio, with the podcast being named Live from Spicer. Throughout Imolte's video blogs, it is apparent that they and the Rekietas were friends, and they have recently had a falling out. Okay, that's one of the things Nick talks about is you didn't say that we no longer get along. If you're family friends and you're doing drugs together and you're having a fallout, I mean, I don't know what more you need to say. At one point during the Imolte's videos, Nicholas walks in the background, grabs an item, which would show that the background is not a backdrop curtain, and it was a layout of an actual room. Here we go. 5/22/24, May 22, Imolte did a video blog where he talked about Nicholas and insinuated controlled substance use, and also referenced a video blog that Nicholas put online on the day before, 5/21/2024. That's the infamous video that we know about. That has since been taken off the internet. Okay, I'm going to read into this just a little bit different than everyone else, okay? That has since been taken off the internet. Okay, Imolte indicates in this blog that Nicholas needs help and needs help to get help for his kids because of the substance abuse. Imolte points out a time in the video where Nicholas has a white powdery substance on his nose. Okay. These, by the way, these all fall in line with, there's a falling out. Now Aaron is saying things about him online, on this video. I mean, I think that all is enough in this thing that clouds and shapes the narrative just fine for what is going on, which is these two don't get along. Your affiant was able to review the video that was taken off of Nicholas's YouTube and Rumble social media sites. Now, it didn't say it was taken down from the YouTube and social media sites. It said it was taken off of. So there's a way to review, to read this sentence, which is much different, which is, I viewed this video, and now this guy is just is a detective, right? He's not a wordsmith necessarily. And he says, I was able to review the video that was taken off of the YouTube and Rumble social media sites. Now, does he mean that it was taken down, or does he mean that he saw a video that was taken from those sites? Taken off of them. I took off of them and I put it somewhere else. And now I'm watching a video that's been of Nicholas that has from a video that was off of his site. I don't know if that's what he's saying. Maybe I'm reading into this. The video is from 5/21/2024 and is of Nicholas in his basement studio talking about a court appeals ruling he lost. He appears in the video to be drinking alcoholic beverages and eventually appears under the influence or substance. The entire video is 4 hours, 4 minutes long, approximately 2:46 into the video. Nick leaves to use the restroom. When he returns, 2:50:40, keep that in mind. He appears to be making an excited look and white powdery substance on his nose. That, by the way, is when Barnes flips out and he says, there's shadows. There's no way to tell. So we're going to take a look. We're going to look at that and see if you guys can see the powdery substance that's there. Off the your affiant knows the training. Okay, he's got a training experience. He says it would show da-da-da-da. It should be noted that your drug recognition. Okay, I also believe that the reports are negligent and controlled substances are consistent with the previously mentioned information. He's requesting to search the whole entire house for the above listed items in relation to the welfare of the children in the home and in relation to controlled substance investigation. He's also requesting to search Nick himself. Okay. He does so, blah, blah, blah. Boom. Okay. Now we're going to get to Nick's response here. Does it make, I don't know if it makes any sense of what I was saying with his wording, which is I reviewed a video that had been taken off of the other. Does he mean I reviewed a video that had been copied from those other sites? Or does he mean I took a video that had been removed? Either way, it says I watched a video that was no longer on those sites. I had thought before that maybe he had downloaded himself. No, we get a little bit more clarification here, and we're going to kind of get this. Okay, let me do one thing here. You may not like, here, let's go this, this, and I'm going to, there you go. Okay, let's do a little stuff we got here. Mark says, you're welcome. I need to poop. Great. When I say regarded, I don't mean regarded, by the way. Tyler's weight loss comes from bicycle addiction, not Coke. Yes, I guess I should say yes. Let's go back up here to the top here. Catch these. Is Kiwi Forums like 4chan? They seem to have a controversial reputation. I don't know. I assumed it was like that. The only thing I'd known about him was Nick ripping on him, talking about, and I didn't know if he was hating on him or if he liked him. Honestly, I didn't pay enough attention. Oh my God. Hi, Anna. Yeah, Anna's in the chat. She's got to be. Ana Kasparian is here watching this show. I think going to the farm puts you on a watch list due to the number of weirdos. Like, it could be true. I mean, that is the kind of stuff. Oh, sorry. I was supposed to transition this over here. That is the kind of stuff that Nick would accuse everybody of, right? Of being like that. So possibly. I don't know. Let's see if I could fix this one here. Chat. Nope, not going to do it. Okay. Since she seems pretty deep in the rabbit hole, she has to have watched at least one of your videos. Could be. You know what? I would say this. She probably saw the video of me with Legal Mindset on his channel. That was you know, a lot of that was down the rabbit hole of the family law stuff. That's the stuff we're looking for. No, they're like Reddit for highly people like Nick, a well-managed and formatted Reddit. It's okay. Some of the people there are overly high opinions of themselves. Yeah. That's kind of what the opinion I got about that as well. Oh, whoops, going back there. Don't need to do that. Okay, let's go to, there we go. Let's transition this one. I'm still learning, folks. Still learning how to do this. So, okay, this is Nick's motion. Defendant's memorandum of law in response to the state's memorandum of law. Okay. It's just 8 pages. We'll cruise through it pretty quick. Magoo's in the chat. Welcome, Magoo. Howdy, folks. The state has reasonably restated the 2 issues remaining before the court with regards to the defendant's pending motion. By the way, remember all the things that Nick brought up in his case. Barnes brought up that they're, First Amendment, Second Amendment, Third. No, he didn't say harboring a soldier was one of them. Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Sixth. Was it more in there? 8th, maybe 14th. None of those made it into this Nick's motion here. Maybe I'll work on those later. I don't know. The state's conclusion, however, is incorrect. Defendant has made a showing sufficient to warrant a Frank's hearing, and the defendant has shown that the seizure of firearms was unlawful. Argument: United States Constitution and the Minnesota Constitution guarantee defendants the right to be free from unreasonable search and seizure. The court stands as a bulwark against the unfettered authority of the state's police powers. And while the state has correctly identified that the rule, quote, that the presence of probable cause should be determined under a totality of the circumstances test, the state fails to recognize that under the totality of the circumstances test, Pomplin, deputy, now they say deputy, it's Detective Pomplin's narrative upon the court is inadequate as Detective Pomplin's material misrepresentations and omissions render the warrant constitutionally deficient. Now, we heard last week the state saying, according to their case law, the way they read it, the omissions don't don't include that, right? They don't qualify under the statute or the legal the case law that omissions are misrepresentations. Now, I imagine a major omission would be considered that. But anyway, showing sufficient to invoke Franks. Reading the law as suggested by the state would lead to a patently absurd result. The state's tortured construction of the prevailing law would ensure that no defendant would ever succeed in challenging an affidavit. Kind of, that's what happens. This notion, and look, do I like how the Fourth Amendment has been run over? This isn't a video, a session here, a live stream a podcast that we are doing. By the way, podcast. So check us out, LPR, Libertarian Podcast Review. I'm on Substack as well. All the podcast catchers. Anyway, there you go. We're not doing this in this is how I would like the world to be. This is how the world is, and how are we going to navigate it? Because otherwise, Nick might have a good chance, but he's not going to. Otherwise, this notion by itself offends both the warrant clause and the due process clause of the United States Minnesota Constitutions. Maybe, as it is obvious from the substance of defendant's motion to suppress and dismiss, defendant is challenging accuracy of the material facts in a facially valid search warrant. Therefore, the district court is not confined to the four corners of the search warrant, and the court may look to extrinsic evidence. Let's read that again. The substance of the defendant's motion to suppress and dismiss defendant is challenging the accuracy of the material and it's facially valid. So they're saying, look, you have to analyze the search warrant and the affidavit for that. You have to say it's in the four corners. You don't go outside of that. But Nick's saying, however, I'm saying that these factors are by themselves incorrect. Therefore, I'm challenging those ones. And therefore, you can go outside the four corners of the document, and you can look at extrinsic evidence. I don't think you want that, Nick. I don't think you want that. Luciao, despite that's his case, and it's the first time they've done it, and so it's a little weird because usually you cite the whole thing here. You can see this down below. State v. Luciao 240 Northwest, 2nd 2D, 833, 835, Minnesota's 1976. Usually put it all up here and then reference. Anyway, doesn't matter. Despite being nearly 5 decades old, remains good law, and no subsequent decision of the Supreme Court or the United States Supreme Court has degraded its authority. The rules articulated in the Minnesota Supreme Court are simple and finite and include. Now they don't include section. They skip around here. They just kind of cherry pick. I would like to have the whole thing, even if it's not applicable. Then you state which ones you're going to do, but they don't include number 1. They do 2. A defendant in Minnesota has the right to challenge the truth and accuracy of allegations in a facially sufficient affidavit, which is used to obtain a search warrant. Okay. 3. Okay. Such challenge should be made at the omnibus hearing, Rule 11, Rules of Criminal Procedure. Number 4, ... The trial court should determine if the defendant had produced sufficient evidence to put in issue the truth and accuracy of allegations in the affidavit presented to the issuing magistrate. The trial court should determine if the defendant had the proof. Okay. A defendant, number 5, is entitled to some form of disclosure as provided herein. He makes a sufficient showing that such evidence is necessary to support his challenge to the issuance of a search warrant. And 7, because we don't do 6, the trial court must rule on the validity of the search warrant, either on the basis of the evidence presented before it or upon that evidence and such other evidence as it deems necessary to make its ruling. Okay. Clearly, this court can go outside the four corners of the warrant in its analysis of the sufficiency of a challenge to a warrant under Franks. State's citation of United States v. Matheson is misleading. Matheson applies federal common law to a federal criminal matter. Oh boy. Minnesota has never held that the only way to make necessary showing for a Franks hearing is to produce an affidavit. Indeed, neither did Matheson's itself. In that case, the Eighth Circuit held that without an offer of proof in the form of a sworn affidavit of a witness or some other reliable corroboration is sufficient to make the difficult preliminary showing. Okay, defendant's YouTube video. Here's the crux of it. Even if Matheson applied, in the instant case, the required corroboration is information readily discernible to the court. namely the altered video. Ironically, it is the state that has provided the court with the evidence necessary to corroborate defendant's assertion that Deputy Pomplin materially misled Judge Fisher, especially as to the origin of the video. It's detective, motherfuckers. Pomplin reviewed. Okay. Let's repeat that. Ironically, it is the state that has provided the court with the evidence necessary to corroborate. Yes, they have defendant assertion that detective. I'm fixing that there. Pomplin materially misled Judge Fisher, especially to the origin of the video. We just read the affidavit there, right? He said he viewed the video that had been taken off of the Rumble and YouTube sites. Okay, so once again, how do you interpret that? Do you interpret that he watched a video that had been a copy of that had been taken off of there? Or do you say he watched a video that is no longer available? See, that last one doesn't really jive with me. So I'm starting to think that the way he worded that is, I watched a video that had previously been on his website, on his platforms, and it wasn't there anymore, but I'm watching this video that had been, basically you should have used the word copy, okay? On August 30, 2024, the state uploaded an exhibit that purports to be the video that Deputy Pomplin watched prior to his warrant application. This is the same video that the state produced in its initial disclosure and was referenced in Supplemental Report 8 to KCSO case 24004152, Hyper 8. Digital evidence, and it displays it. Detective Pomplin, however, has two problems with Supplemental 8 in his affidavit in support of his application of the warrant. Firstly, in his initial supplemental report, Deputy Pomplin identifies his digital evidence as including a clip from Nick Rekieta's online. That's just his evidence. Once again, his other evidence is his affidavit that he watched this. Okay. His other evidence is that he has knowledge and ability to discern that people are, that he listened to and watched Aaron's show. He didn't put a clip for that. He didn't put a clip of the show that he watched Aaron talking about it, because he had in his affidavit what he did. Okay. Both the PowerPoint video and I think this evidence is just to show that, look, this guy's strung out online. Okay, here's a screenshot of that. And if we have to go to court, then that's a different deal. We're gonna have to get the actual video, but I saw the video. Okay, both the PowerPoint video and the screenshot reference were provided in the state's initial disclosure. This is a screenshot taken from the PowerPoint video. Okay, now here's the problem: is this? This is the whole thing there. You can see the whole video, the 4 minute, it looks like 34 seconds on there as well. This is the whole video. And then Nick's team does a screenshot. And I know people have talked about it, but this screenshot is specific because this is the one time Nick's not on screen. The clip embedded in the PowerPoint presentation did not come from defendant's YouTube channel. Yeah, because it had been removed. And he said he saw a video that had been taken off of Nick's site. Okay, did come from the defendant's YouTube channel as evidence and screenshot at the same elapsed point in the time of the video that the state uploaded on August 30, 2024. Yeah, the two videos are clearly different. Wait, oh, because it's got this. But look, it's from YouTube. This is what's interesting. It's not a clip of anything. It's just a video from YouTube, right? So he has this whole link. Basically, you take a link and you put it and it displays it up there. This is the guy's link from the YouTube. You see the YouTube there. That's probably his own brand there, and you could toggle it on or off. Okay, the little B. These videos are clearly different, with another creator putting his or her stamp on the video, which upon which Deputy Pomplin, and by extension Judge Fisher, relied as the primary basis for Pomplin's declaration that defendant was actively using cocaine was a white powdery substance on the defendant's nose. Deputy Pomplin had a duty to inform Judge Fisher that he had watched a video with another creator's imprint overlaid and not defendant's actual video. Remember, he said he watched a video that had been taken off. I'm totally buying this now. Okay, I could be totally wrong, and I'll have to apologize for later. But the wording is, I watched a video that had been taken off of those things. Now, it didn't say that I watched a video that had been removed. It said off. I don't know. You tell me. Am I? I don't know. Especially the existence of the alleged substance is questionable. This is driving me crazy. Pomplin's failure to do so, leaving Judge Fisher with the impression that he had watched defendant's unaltered video. It was material is a material representation. Is this watermark a material misrepresentation? That is the real question, right? Did he materially? No. And this is if the judge believes any part of Nick, which maybe he or she does, which is, I get to go outside of the four corners of this document and look at extrinsic evidence. Okay, maybe they go and they watch these two videos. Maybe they watch these two videos and see for themselves if they are unaltered, and if the misrepresentation of, I didn't tell you there was a B in the bottom there, is materially misrepresentation or not, material misrepresentation. The state, however, continuing on here, has a second problem. The metadata on the video, okay, this is just bad. On the state's initial disclosure shows that the state hadn't downloaded defendant's original video, and that the video they did download after the warrant had been requested and issued is not defendant's original video. Yeah, he said he watched a video that had been taken off of the site. I don't know. I'm still following this off the site stuff. Even if the state opines on the, you know, it's, I know you guys don't like the way I do this, but I'm going back here to this affidavit. Aaron indicated, what is it? Let's go on 521. I want to see. Nope, that's 516. Okay. They had a falling out. On 522, Multi-Data blog, he talked about Nicholas Rekieta insinuated controlled substances, referenced a video blog that Nicholas put online on 5/21/2024 that had since been taken off the internet. Okay, I could be wrong. This is how he talks. Imulte indicates that his blog, that Nicholas helped and needs to get help, blah, blah, blah. Reviewed the video that was taken off of Nick's YouTube and Rumble media, social media sites. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe all right. Maybe the Detective Pomplin just doesn't know how to write very well. I just say I saw a video on it. Nick, I see where Nick's coming from here, right? Which is he is not telling exactly the truth, but he didn't say where he got this other video from, but he did. Yeah, okay. Even if the state opines another clip had been from an application maybe used to make the clip, Pomplin had a duty to inform Judge Fisher that he was basing his affidavit on an altered video. Okay. The determination of the Kandiyohi County Human Health and Human Services is relative and determinative. Once again, the state, while correctly stating that the rule has reached the wrong conclusion, the screening of child maltreatment reports is controlled by an entirely different set of statutes and standards than criminal offenses. Quote, the standards are much lower for screening child maltreatment reports. The state is suggesting that the failure to meet probable cause to satisfy the low burden of proof for the clear and convincing... Hang on. My law partner calling me for some reason. Standards are much lower screening child maltreatment reports. Mute that. The state is suggesting that the failure to meet the probable cause to satisfy the low burden of proof for the clear and convincing standard has no impact on the probable cause to satisfy a beyond a reasonable doubt standard. The probable cause is below all of those. The other one, probable cause is just, you might come across something that will lead to credible evidence. Okay, that's probable cause. Clear and convincing and beyond a reasonable doubt are standards of proof the court uses to determine guilt, innocence, liability, or whatnot. Beyond a reasonable doubt is criminal. Clear and convincing is civil, as in is beyond a reason. The reasonable doubt is the other one. Probable cause, low burden of proof, clear and convincing. I mean, it's above a little bit. It's like 75% type of thing, where beyond a reasonable doubt, it's 100. I don't know. The requisite showing necessary to initiate a child protection matter being much lower than that necessary to secure a warrant. What? Should have foreclosed at this basis for Deputy Pomplin. Once again, they're not making a findings here of legal findings in a sense. They have to do they come up with something, they being CPS, and then they'll, shoot it on up, and then the judge makes a determination. This is our fishing expeditions. These are investigations, and probable cause is a determination that, both of them have probable cause for their own standards, right? And Pomplin's is criminal, and theirs is just, do we remove kids from the home for this? And he's like, oh, they're doing coke. That's illegal. Now, maybe the other ones are like, they're doing weed too. I don't know if we did. And by the way, we've been down this road with the family law stuff. Sometimes, the CPS finds something and that's nothing there. Other times they're the ones that find it and the criminal side doesn't. I mean, it's all the time. It's different depending on who's doing it. His omission was a misleading and material, as was the failure to inform the judge that determined the incident and condition does not fit the definition of child abuse or neglect as defined by the Minnesota statute. Okay, firearm seizure remains unlawful. The state, how we doing on time, is overly reliant on the plain view exception which defendant distinguished in his motion. The state, however, failed to address either the strong relationship between the seized and described items standard or the nexus between the items seized and the criminal behavior standard raised in the defendant's motion. As such, the court should consider any counter argument waived in the grant defendant's motion. I mean, I think that's just, hyperbole and they're grasping at straws. Almost every police officer, especially they do so many drug cases, they're just going to know automatically that you can't have a weapon if you have drugs. I mean, it's one of their easy things that they probably know as a police officer to get more revenue, get more charges, whatever it is. It's the way it's not really bad. In conclusion, it defies common sense to say that the court can make practical common sense decisions, whether given all circumstances set forth in the affidavit before him or her, including the veracity and basis of knowledge of persons supplying hearsay information. Probable cause exists to issue a warrant, yet cannot use that same test to look at the information the defendant supplies on a motion to suppress when the information itself comes from that which was disclosed by the state in discovery. I mean, it feels like a word salad, mixing it up here. A little bit written better than a Kamala Harris thing. Kamala, whatever. The defendant has clearly satisfied the showing necessary to warrant an evidentiary hearing pursuant to Franks. I don't know that you have. Partly because that whole video, and we'll get to that video in a second. The defendant, pursuant to the state's suggestion, does wish to turn this into a general probable cause dismissal. We therefore join the state's suggestion that an additional briefing schedule. Oh, geez. Let's go back to Barnes, right? If you're winning, you don't need to brief. Due to the numerous inconsistencies with Detective, now they got it. Pomplin, you had to wait for the whole to the end of the show to get Detective Pomplin written correctly by his attorney, or Nick, whoever's doing it. Pomplin's probable cause affidavit, it is unlikely that Detective Pomplin could have seen or detected what he states. His integrity as a police officer is in question at this point because he did not reference the watermark. Accordingly, the court should schedule an evidentiary hearing pursuant to Franks and grant all relief sought in defendant's motion. I don't believe that's going to happen, Nick. I don't believe it's going to happen. Okay, so maybe, I don't know. What I want to do, I'm going to try to find it here. Let's see if I can. Okay, this might be rough, folks. Let's see here. I don't want to do browser. Which one am I going to use? No. Okay, let's add in another screen capture. All right, and we're gonna scratch. Oh, hang on. Sorry about that. Do I want the browser? All right, I want the whole window. Sorry, folks. I know you don't like this. Okay, there we go. I think we're gonna do this. Okay, there you go. Okay, so let's take a look here. This is on the one on the left. It's called Backwards Internet. This is the guy, I guess, Cog or something like that. He's the one that downloaded this. 4 hours, 4 minutes, and 4 seconds. And then this one on the right is actually Nick's Nick's own stream, still up on Rumble. Okay, so here's this is how he looks, of course. And then there's where he went to the bathroom. Okay, 2:48, 16, and let's see if we can get to the right spot here. It doesn't want to do it because it needs to be expanded a bit. 2:40, I think it was 2:50. He comes back. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're gonna play Nick over here. I don't know if you guys can hear this or not. It's really not. Nick comes
What's
back.
up, guy?
And I mean, I just saw it there. There's white powder, and his nose is blunted.
Nice. Let's go.
And he's so hyped up. And there's powder in his nose. You can see it definitely. Oh, you almost picked it, and it's a white nose.
So much.
He's moving around. There's no shadows.
You're in. So much.
Okay, so that's 2:50:51. Okay, so let's go over to this one. Let's see if it matches up here. I know other people have done this, but I think it's just fascinating. Fascinating. Okay, so there's, once again, on this side, on the left, he's gone to the bathroom. 2:40, 2:40, 2:50:44. Let's get up to 2:50:41 on the left.
So much urine.
51, sorry. 2:50.
So much urine. That's what you.
Okay, 2:50:51.
You have to learn.
Let's play them both
When
together.
you're old, you don't pee much urine. When you drink, you have to learn. Pee a shitload. When you're old, you don't pee more. That's all. When you drink whiskey, you pee a shitload. I don't know if you know this, but there's a guy who made. That's all. Jim.
Okay. I personally don't think that's enough to say that Detective Pomplin was doing things wrong. Okay, so it just doesn't work for me. Okay, let's go to here. Hey, Nick R, how's the favorite negligent piece of shit? Oh, she's still up on Odyssey, not Rumble. Yeah, that's right. I'm going backwards here. Let's see. I love a Nick debates. Yeah, he's two-faced. Right. Zoomed in real evidence. How many pixels? Yeah, that's a good reference back to, I think, is that, which case was that? Hang on, my phone's over here. What is one of the cases that they kept pinch and zoom, right? Was that Rittenhouse, I think, though? They're cops, not English professors. True. Dwayne says most street cops don't have the IQ to write this well. Good point. Rekieta Law, is he chiming in here? No, you're missing it because you haven't seen the letter. The letter says that the CPS report should not amount to criminal activity, even if true. Pomplin investigate legal activity. Okay. Go back to your booger sugar, Nick. Nick out of chat, peace. Okay. I don't know. I'm sorry. I wish I would have seen that there. We would have had more of a conversation. It's good to see. Look, when we have questions of who is in the chat, and you think, oh, Anna's in the chat. And by the way, Nick, if you're in here, at least super chat. If Anna's in the chat, let us know. Now Nick is in the chat, so we had a lot of female energy coming in here. Okay, I'm sorry I missed that. I didn't know Nick was coming through loud and clear. Glad to see he's checking out the law. Look, I'll just say this, Nick. If you need any advice on the family law side, we can definitely do it. I'm a practicing attorney. I won't even tell you how much I billed today. Ridiculous amount. Okay, maybe not. Okay, did he leave when you said Nick? Did you know that? Sorry, Balto. Did you know that your Odyssey channel's still up? Anybody inform you of that? Okay, guys, I've got to head out here. I hope that was a little bit informative. Nice to see that he came in. I don't know what time he said that because I didn't watch the chat, so I need to maybe line this up of when Nick came into the chat here. Once again, he said, "No, you're missing it." That was 5:47. That was like 10 minutes ago. You're missing it because you haven't seen the letter. I haven't seen the letter. The letter says that the CPS report would not amount to criminal activity, even if true. I would say this though. Let's talk about that, Nick. Which is, the letter doesn't amount to criminal activity. That's not for her to say. Okay. I'm just throwing that out there. That's a social worker. Okay. I people say those things all the time. Okay. I guess now would it have? So at the point, remember, this is important. I don't know if you're still in here, Nick. It's my understanding. Maybe you can give us an idea. My understanding is the letter came out on May 16, and that prompted, and she's like, "Hey, this doesn't amount to criminal activity." And Pomplin says, "I don't care who you are. I'm going to go forward and see." Now, his investigation led to him thinking that it came to criminal activity. So perhaps it's the case. I don't know. Okay. What do you think of that? Let's make sure we covered everything else here. Search warrant application. I think we're good. All right. All right. So just remember, tomorrow I'm going to be doing another chat, another show. We're going to be doing it on Piers Morgan and a few other items. We're going to be doing it on Daryl Cooper. So check it out. Look for us tomorrow. Thanks everybody for coming in. I hope you have a good weekend, but come back tomorrow. Don't forget, I'm glad Nick's in here, and I hope he sub to the show. That's what we need. Thanks.
Things are going to start happening to me now.
I think Tyler is amazing.
And I'm a fan of this show. I've watched several episodes.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. You stink, Tyler.
Never promise crazy a baby.
Oh, I like that. That's a cool idea.
Are either of you homosexuals?
I go both ways. What do you think?
You mean like flaming or?
No, we're not homosexual, but we are willing to learn.
But I do wonder, for others, in other cases, whether libertarianism today is just an excuse for many on the right to act selfishly.
Look at me. And then some fat asses in Washington started having opinions. The Olympic Committee started having opinions. You bitch, I know you. You started writing your opinions.
And it just makes me wonder, you're dead, bitch. You know, why are you doing this to this poor guy?
I don't care. I'm a libertarian. What I'm getting is,
did you vote for Joe Jorgensen or Trump?
Who?
Joe Jorgensen. That was the perfect answer. Thank you.